Hi Carol.
Hi.
Thank you very much for doing a testimonial for me. When you first spoke to me about starting a program with me, what was going on and why did you approach me?
Because I tried loads of different ways of eating diets and they'd all been good to start with and then just not worked for whatever reason.
What sort of diets?
So I've done all the Slimming Worlds, done all the Weight Watchers, done milkshakes, done basically starving myself, anything and everything.
So you wanted to lose weight?
I wanted to lose weight, but I also felt drained and no energy, just bloated, no energy, and there was nothing the doctor could find to say. It was just you just got to lose weight. But everything I tried, I just put the weight back on. I run myself into the ground doing a PT, personal training with someone, hurt my back, hurt my knee, and would lose all the weight, but then as soon as I started eating, putting it all back on again. So I sort of wanted to find something that I could just get my head round how to do it. And then know if I did ever slip up, because it happens, I know exactly what to do to get back on it.
Okay. So, how long ago did you start?
October, and it's now May.
Okay. And what has it been like from October to now? What have you enjoyed or not enjoyed? What have you liked about working with us?
What I like is it's proper everyday food. So I know that it's sustainable, that I can carry it on myself because it's going to end one day, you coaching me. So that's what happens with a lot of things. You get faddy foods to eat, or you get points, or you get measurements and stuff like that. Whereas this is really simple, easy to follow. You know what your body likes and you know it works. When you do it, it works. It's that thing. When you do it, it works, and you don't feel hungry. That's the big thing for me. Because you just think, how the hell am I going to have gaps that big between my food and not feel hungry?
When you started, were you hungry?
I think I thought I was hungry, and that's probably because I wasn't drinking enough water. And also, because it's completely different to anything else I've done, I thought I should be hungry. So I don't actually think I was, now I look back. It's just, you've got this thing in your head that you should eat snacks. You should have snacks, and you should have a cup of coffee when you want one. And so it's just a mindset thing, really. So the first sort of few weeks are very difficult. From that respect, getting your head around a completely different way of eating and drinking, because you would think that drinking coffee you could just drink whenever you like. It's until you understand what that does to your body that stops you from doing it.
So what are your results? How have you changed?
Loads more energy, because the blood test shows up different things as well. That's what I like about it, is you keep a regular eye on the things that are going on inside our body. It's the only diet that shows that. So you can see where your cholesterol's at, where your glucose levels are at, and because you're a nutritionist, you can flag things up and give advice on them. Whereas when you're doing any other diet, you haven't a clue what's going on inside your body. And I think that's what it is, why everybody says, oh my God, you just look so well. Your skin looks lovely, you know, you don't look like drawn, because when you get older, you obviously, if you lose too much weight, you can start to look drawn and turkey neck and stuff like that. And I haven't had that. Everyone's just said you look so well, which is the first time I've lost 3 stone before, and because I did it with exercise and I looked knackered the whole time. Whereas this is sustainable in that you know what you can eat, you've got your cheat meal, and you know that it works. So if you do have something where you slipped up, you know, right, if I get back on it, I know that whatever's going to come off again.
So would it have been fair to say that before you started, you were nervous about starting?
Oh, God, yeah.
So what else were you thinking before you started? Things like, it's not going to work for me. What else?
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
Simply because when you go to these Weight Watchers, Slimming Worlds, whatever, you get to see exactly what you're eating. So you know exactly what you're going to eat. You can't tell us that, which I understand now. So there's that bit of, what if I get something I don't like? So you're sort of really worried. You have to have the blood test in order to see what you can eat, but you're frightened to enter into it because you think, what if I get stuff I don't like? And then it's too late. I've got to do it because I've invested the time, money, whatever. So it's that initial jump that you have to go, let's just go with it. Because I've heard it works, I saw you, it worked. So that's the initial thing where I was really apprehensive of what the hell am I going to get to eat and what if I can't do it?
Do you remember what food you asked me for if I could have it, if you could have it?
I think I said I'd like steak. You said there could be steak,
Yeah.
which I got, funny enough. But the funny thing is, when I have a cheat meal, whereas before it would be, I'm having steak and chips. Now I'm just like, no, not having steak. Because I know I can have that at any time. So that's quite funny. But yeah, it is that uncertainty in the beginning because it's the unknown. You haven't got a list of foods. You can't tell me because you don't know. And that's the hardest thing because normally you want to be informed of absolutely everything. And this is one of those things that you've just got to trust that it will work.
So how did you come to trust it? What was it that finally made you go, okay, I'm going to do it?
I think I just had to. I got to a stage where I thought I've tried other things. As I say, I've tried running myself into the ground, hurting my back, hurting my knee, and just eating faddy, and thinking I knew the right way to eat, whereas now I do know the right way to eat and know that you don't need certain things and your body responds much better when you don't eat them. And when you do eat them, you feel awful, like bread, like potatoes, that sort of thing. So, I've got any question now? I'll go off on one.
That's all right.
So yeah, I think
I said, what was the final thing that made you decide? And it was that you felt that you had to.
I just thought I've got to do something, and because I'd seen it work for you, and I knew you were a nutritionist, you weren't just some faddy person who just picked this diet out of the air, and so I could see it was working and how well you looked. That's the thing, is you want to look well, because when you're older, like I just said, you don't want to look haggard. I've got friends that have lost the same amount of weight as me, but they look ill.
Yeah.
And you can't end up looking ill. It's something you've got to maintain.
Yeah.
When the year's over, I've got to maintain it.
Yeah.
But I know I will because of after the cheat meal, I go straight back on it.
Yeah.
Or if I have a blip, I go straight back on it.
So do you feel like the process has educated you
Definitely.
as well? Yeah.
And more in control.
Yeah.
So the first few weeks, I won't lie, I was like, I can't work this out because there are rules that you follow. And the first few weeks, I was having to really write it down and work out when I was going to eat what. And you have to plan and have things ready in the freezer, have your meat, weighed out if you're busy. But that plan is stuck on my fridge. So I know how many grams is it. If I forget, it's there. And I thought, how the hell am I going to do this weighing and measuring thing? Easy. You don't even think about it anymore. And in fact, sometimes you sort of look at something and think, yeah. And you guess and you go, oh my God, I got it right. You get to know your weights. Yeah. And you get to know when you're shopping, I can have leeks. But I can't have whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So you get to know your own thing in your head of what you can have and what you can't have.
So if somebody was in the same position as you when you started,
mm-hmm.
what would you say to them if they were thinking of doing this programme?
It's no point me just saying do it, because you have to be in the mindset to do it, because if you're not, it's not worth doing. You have to commit yourself to do it, and you have to really want to do it. But once you've started it, after the initial you have to do 17 days, isn't it, I think, before you can have a cheat meal. And then when you have that cheat meal, it tastes lovely. And I remember going to a restaurant and saying, I'm going to have that, hot chocolate, and then something else and something else. I wanted everything. You just can't eat it anyway. And it's just a gradual weight loss, but the whole time, you just feel healthy. That's, again, the big thing. So that's all I would say. If you've tried other diets and it's left you feeling lethargic, looking haggard, this won't. And the only way you're going to know is if you give it a go. Do you see what I mean? It's just everyone I know that's done it just feels so much better and looks better. They don't look like they've been on a diet. They just look like well. They just look well.
Carol, you've done really well, and I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you.
Really am. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.